Hi, this is Dec Cluskey, the founder of the Serious Writers Guild and the boss of Makehits.com and Makehits.co.uk. And this is our 14th in the series of 4 Minutes on the Net with Dec. What have I got for you this week? Well, I was watching TV the other night, late at night, and a show came on which was fantastic. It was U2 live at Glastonbury here in the UK. And I would suggest that if you're serious about your music, learn to use iPlayer on BBC. That's BBC iPlayer. Now I'll tell you how to do that if you're not in the UK. What tends to happen if you're overseas, BBC and ITV, they just don't like you accessing the iPlayer because you don't pay the TV license fee in the UK, so they don't like it. But I'll give you a little tip. Now I'll put it down below here, expatshield.com. Get on there and just download the application. It's expatshield.com. Now what that does is gives you a proxy site in the UK, so then you can access all the UK TV stations. Look at Glastonbury. I think it was on last Sunday, I think it was, but check it out anyway. It's the U2 show, and what I want to tell you is that look very carefully at the equipment and the way the Edge, the guitar player, uses the equipment. That's if you play guitar or if you record guitar. Very important to watch the way these people do it, and he's probably the most sensational huge guitar player in the world. Matthew Bellamy is another guy to watch in Muse, but the Edge is particularly good to use. Not a classy, you know, fast player or anything like that. He plays very much the sounds, and that's the way I look at guitar playing as well. So expat.com, and then access iPlayer, BBC iPlayer, and then look at Glastonbury, U2 at Glastonbury. And I'll tell you a few things that he's using. Also, go to musicradar.com. Again, I'll put the link here, musicradar.com, or Google the Edge guitar stage setup, and you'll see exactly the equipment that he's using. It's mostly Vox stuff, but there's the Marshall stuff is in there as well, and a lot of the Vox amps are doctored with Marshall bits inside them. So you know I'm a great Marshall fan, and I suppose the Edge is as well, but most of the stuff is Vox, I'd have to say, ancient Vox stuff. There's one trick that he uses on there, which if you look at the book that I wrote, so you're thinking of recording guitar, I give this trick, and I'll give it to you now, and you'll see it when you watch that iPlayer show, U2 at Glastonbury. You'll see that he's got two microphones about 20 feet away from his amplifiers. They're actually on the stage box that he uses, you know, the stump box that he uses. You'll see them there, two stereo mics, and they're picking up from about 20 feet away what the amps are doing. Now I always say, if you're recording in a studio, it's very important to get a huge sound, to use as many microphones as you can on the amp. One in front, one behind, that's a classic setup. But the other setup is to have one or two microphones up in the top corner of the studio. And that's what the Edge is emulating. On the stage, he's got two microphones about 20 feet away from the amplifiers, and that is just giving that size of sound. And it really does work. If you want to see it, actually, they don't mention it at all in the stage setup. That's very curious that they don't mention that at all. It's like they're keeping it a secret. But there's a photograph on the first page of that musicradar.com, the Edge setup, and you will see that the mic stands are actually there. There's no mics on them, but they're there. So there's a huge tip for getting a massive guitar sound on stage. If you play big venues, then do it. I've seen Dave Gilmour do it. I've seen Slash do it, where they had the microphones actually almost in the audience pointing at the amplifiers, and that gives them absolutely a huge sound. So there you are, a big tip for this week. And the testimonials this week. Well, I spoke about Ian Campbell last time, and he has just done 367 shows on the trot, one show after another for a whole year. And that was to help the Heroes, the charity here in the UK, to help all the soldiers that have been injured overseas in Afghanistan and Iraq. He's just now told me that he's gone up to the army place in, I think it's Histon, and he was presented with a huge big plaque affair like this with this lovely medal on it. I asked him to get me a photograph of it, and I'll show you in the next 4 minutes with Dec. But Ian Campbell, what a guy, what a hero, and look at what he's done for Help the Heroes. I hope you do your bit as well. The Gags, everybody loves the Gags. Well, what have I got for you this week? In Germany recently, they decided they'd do a trial borehole to see what happened 5,000 years ago. So they went down to 100 meters and they discovered an awful lot of copper. So the Germans were very quick to point out that 5,000 years ago there must have been a telephone network in Germany. So the British, they wouldn't be outdone. So they decided to dig down 200 meters. So they dug down 200 meters and unearthed glass. So they said that obviously 10,000 years ago in Britain there was an optical fibre network. Not to be outdone, the Irish, they dug down to 500 meters, found absolutely nothing. But they said it's quite obvious that 50,000 years ago in Ireland there was a mobile phone network. So listen, I'll see you next time. 4 minutes on the net with Dec. Don't forget to look up that iPlayer thing about U2. Very good, a music radar. The tips I give are pretty damn good, I can tell you. So I'll see you next week. And don't forget, I'm the founder of the Serious Writers Guild and the boss of Makehits.com and Makehits.co.uk. See you next time. Bye.